Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the major HIT-44A1 adapter. This is for what they list as a 1-inch auger, which would mean you'd be using an auger bit in the edge of the HIT-44. Let's take some basic dimensional properties and then we will talk about what this is for. Overall length of this adapter, about 2-inch. Its outside diameter appears to be about 1.25 inches, and obviously that ID is going to be 1 inch because what you're going to be drilling in the edge of your door is going to be that 1 inch, inserting that 1-inch auger. So this is what it looks like. Its weight is about 1/2 pound, 0.6 pound or something in that range. Has this might be called a walled ring. This is just a retaining ring. The question becomes is where is this actually used? Well, I can tell you that it's used in the edge of the HIT-44 when you have the tool attached, clamped to the door. You need to drill the 1-inch hole into, you're going to drill a 1-inch hole in the edge, and you're going to use an auger bit for that. An auger bit is something that I learned about as a child that you would see in what's called a brace and a bit. If you've ever seen the kind of maybe old-fashioned tool that is a mechanical drill where you have a wheel that you turn like this and it will spin a bit, and that's an auger bit on there. It's got an unusual shank to it, like a conically shaped square, if I recall correctly what those look like. Let's talk specifically about the HIT-44, but the best way to go about showing you about the HIT-44A1 is to just switch to the screen view and show you the installation instructions for the HIT-44. So let's do that now. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, so here's the HIT-44A1. Adapter for use with a 1-inch auger or brad point bits and hole saws. When you buy one, we'll ship you one. Here's a product brochure. Let's look at that first. And basically, it's the part right here, and it's referred to as 2 interchangeable adapters allow the use of auger bits, multi-spur bits, or hole saws. So we're going to talk about that. That's what the HIT-44 looks like in an overview sense. And here are its constituent components, listing what it comes with. Our A1, our A3, our A4 for using different bits in the tool itself. So it's modular in that sort of sense. So let's skip over to installation instructions for it. So I'm going to search for HIT-44, and it's the Drill Master tool right here. There will be instructions linked to down below. Here it is. Let's take a look. And as we look at that, we can see a reference to it right here. But let's scroll into the instructions and get to where they address that. There are 3 drill guide bushings supplied with the HIT-44 for use when drilling the edge bore. They are held in with a clip. There's a clip right here. They're held in via that retaining ring that's there. Choose from a 7/8, 1-inch, or the brass guide. We're talking about the 1-inch. Now, I don't know if they're going to show us an auger in here, but an auger is a very common bit that you will use. This, is not an auger bit. It's a twist bit, really. It's a 1-inch brad point twist bit. But nonetheless, you would use the 1-inch or the HIT-44A1 for that bit. Let's do a search for auger bit. And you can see a more typical version of what an auger bit looks like. They're very distinguishable. They look like this. Why you would want an auger bit for this type of application is that they're very, very good at self-feeding because they have a self-feeding tip and evacuating wood or material out when you're drilling through it. So auger bits are very efficient in that regard. And a lot of people have auger bits rather than buying a specific brad point or a twist bit for the application. Okay, so there you go. I mean, that's what it's really for right here on the 8th page of the installation instructions on the HIT-44. So the product brochure lists those different bushings that are available. So depending on what lock you're prepping for, you will select the bushing that you'll use. If you're drilling 7/8 holes, you're going to need the A3, the 44A3. If you're doing 1-inch edge preps, you're doing commercial locks that take an 1.1" wide faceplate, you'll need the A1. If you're using a multi-spur bit that has a 1/2-inch shaft, you're going to end up using this HIT-44A4. You could have a 1-inch diameter multi-spur bit that you're using. So it really boils down to what you have, what you're running, so to speak. And apparently the 444 comes with that 1-inch brad point bit right there. They're good for drilling the edge of doors. Auger bits are good too. I personally would not use them for door work. Auger bits I would use in rough framing when I'm running conduit through studs. I'm not convinced they give the cleanest of cut, even though an auger bit can have a feature to it out here where it's scoring before you're cutting wood. So your experience will dictate the bit that you personally prefer. I actually use a paddle bit or a spade bit for doing this stuff because they're cheap and they cut very well and they last very long, and I've never had one give me a bad cut. Plus, I'm doing primarily, well, you're going to drill a 1-inch, and then I'm always going to mortise over that an 1.1" wide faceplate. So if there's any issue with the hole that I've drilled, prepping for the faceplate makes that problem just basically go away. So there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page as seen here, and from here you can pull up not only all of the major products we sell by means of this horizontal navigation here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website here, and then the full product catalog, which I would certainly recommend that you review because it's full of lock installation aids. The second half of the catalog is absolutely the entire product line of jigs, fixtures, templates when prepping doors. The HIT-45, great platform. You'll be able to do mortise pockets, mortise cassette pockets alone, faceplate preps, function hole preps for locks, panic devices, all kinds of stuff. Really good stuff that's happening here. The first half of the catalog is primarily security hardware, like what a locksmith would be interested in, or a security integrator and whatnot. If you have any questions on anything major, please feel free to reach out to us. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, not much to it. Now, why would you buy this? Well, you've either lost it, possibly, or you've just worn it out. You know, with enough drilling through here, you will, you know, everything wears. You're putting a cutting tool inside of it, inside of the sleeve. Your force when drilling is never going to be perfectly straight through it. It will always be putting stress on the outside circumference of the bushing itself. So over time, prepping hundreds of doors, yes, you can expect to have to replace some component of your kit. But one nice thing about Major is that in every instance I can think of, you can buy a base component from the kit. Now, do they have the retaining ring listed separately? No. Would they probably sell one? Yes. If you got curious and took it off and lost it, I'm sure we'd be able to get one of these for you. I'm confident we can. They might also say, you've got to order the whole item. But the bottom line is, at least you'll have a manufacturer who will give you the right advice according to what needs to be done to get you back up and running. Any questions on the HIT-44A1 drill adapter for a 1-inch auger bit or a brad point bit as well, twist bit, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.